Well, YouTube, we are back. It's that time of year again where we are reminiscing and just reflecting on our E3 time. And we're going to start with Nintendo because we had a blast. I mean, we're going to get into it, but I think it was both of our favorite floor time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Surprise,
um,
surprise.
we,
Nintendo.
yeah, we wanted to just make a video about our experiences just at their booth.
So we are Katie and AJ, and yeah, what she said. um, it's been a while already, a little while since E3 2019, but we're here with our first post E3 video, and like Katie said, it's Nintendo. That's pretty typical of us, but it was really great.
Mm-hmm.
Their booth was really great, much like their E3 Direct. They were focusing on 3 games. They had The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, the remake, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Luigi's Mansion 3.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they had other games. They had the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games game, and they had several games in their little area. But for the most part, it was focused on those 3, and we demoed all 3 of them.
Yeah.
It turned out Link's Awakening ended up being our game of show.
Yep. Just so beautiful.
Yeah, and they had these adorable dioramas set up that were just super, super cute little, setups in the art style of the Link's Awakening remake. And we couldn't get enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at them was such an awesome way to spend time in line because the line just wound around the play area. And you got to look at these little miniature, links, doing battling and exploring and just kind of having adventures just, in a little, freeze frame, a cartoony freeze frame. And it was so awesome.
Yeah. I love the design because it's cartoony, but still very detailed at the same time.
Yeah.
It makes it really fun.
Yeah. The attention to detail, it seems so simple, but
right.
it's really complex. The work that goes into the cuteness.
Mm-hmm.
So those were such a fun thing to look at. The game was even more fun to play. This is kind of a spoiler, I guess, but it was our game of show in terms of E3 as a whole this year. Link's Awakening, which, we're Legend of Zelda fan, boy and girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not much of a surprise that it was our game of show, I guess, but I feel like I didn't expect it. Going in, it's not like I was like, oh, another Zelda game, of course it's going to be my game of show.
Yeah.
Going in, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be playable. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
But it's not like I was like, oh, that's going to be my shoe-in game of show. It's like I, probably would have expected it to be something maybe like Cyberpunk 2077 or Doom Eternal, which
right.
Doom Eternal for me personally is second this year. Another spoiler, I guess. So that did end up being very high on my list, but I just did not expect this game to be so adorable and so just lovely to play. I mean, I'm just so excited for it to come out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, it falls in line with my wishes that I want just every game on Switch that's ever been made. Just put it on Switch or do remasters or remakes or whatever.
Yeah. I can't even imagine if they give A Link to the Past this treatment next.
I know.
That would be so cool.
It really would be so cool. It's wild that these games are going to be coming out so soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just super exciting.
Yeah.
When we saw the displays, you were like, I forget exactly what you said, but you were like, we have room for this on our kitchen table, right? And I was like, yeah, we don't need a kitchen table.
Yeah.
We just need it.
Yeah. I was like, there's room to put food in the open spaces, like on the beach. Yeah, because it's just it's so cute. I couldn't stop looking at it. It's like, yeah, it's just, oh man, the art of this game and then the gameplay, it feels so much like, like the old games, like the top-down Zelda games. Mm-hmm. And they made it, they turned the adorable meter up to an 11, and the gameplay's amazing. It's just, it's perfect so far.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah. So that was Link's Awakening. Now, moving on to Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was another game that was just adorable. Nintendo just does cute better than any video game developer. It was what we've come to expect from Pokemon games. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot new and innovative about it, but Dynamax, obviously, which you and I were kind of, when we first saw Dynamax, we were like, it's another, gimmick like Mega Evolution, like Z Crystals, but playing it, you and I both agreed coming out of the demo, playing Dynamax, it was pretty fun, having this like huge Pokemon on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's clearly like a gimmick, but it's a fun one.
Yeah. And it was really cool because the dude, you and I were demoing at the same time, whereas with like Link's Awakening, for instance, we demoed it back to back so that we could watch each other. With Pokemon Sword and Shield, we actually demoed it at the same time. So it was really cool because the dude who was at my station, he filmed me playing since you weren't there to film and I wasn't filming you. And it was really cool because we got you in the background, me in the foreground. But he was actually filming at a perfect place because it was as I was Dynamaxing Grookey. And it's really funny because, we came back and reported to each other afterwards with how our demos went. And you also Dynamaxed Grookey because you had 6 Pokemon. You had like the 3 starters. And what was it? You had like Yamper, Corviknight, and I can't remember the 6th one right now. Was it Wooloo?
Yeah.
So you could Dynamax any one of those.
Yeah.
Like you could choose who to Dynamax. Like it was really cool. So like those are the 6 Pokemon that you got to play with. And I Dynamaxed Grookey and I came back and reported to you and you reported to me and you also Dynamaxed Grookey. So it was like, oh, of course, those are that's the one we Dynamaxed.
Yeah.
It was fun playing the new Pokemon game. We're very excited for that.
What is so crazy on top of everything is that this is going to be on Switch.
Yeah.
It's going to be a console Pokemon game and it's so exciting because it feels so much like just the past games.
Yeah. I could go off on a giant tangent right now, but I just have to touch on that. Like how crazy the Switch is, allowing these games to still be mobile and feel kind of like 3DS when it's just mobile, but when it's docked, it feels like a just classic Nintendo console on your TV.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's wild.
Because, you're absolutely right. It's going to be weird having a core Pokemon RPG on the television.
Yeah.
It's going to be so cool. So the Pokemon setup, that's something we haven't really talked about yet. It was amazing that they had this like stadium that you could enter. Mm-hmm. They had like little cartoon fans cheering for you and just kind of like a setup of like going into a stadium, which, that's something that's cool. That's different from Sun and Moon is like gyms seem to be back. They're like stadiums on the inside with like tons of fans watching. I feel like there's a lot more emphasis on that this generation.
That's what I was going to say too, is it seems to be something they're trying to focus on and I'm not exactly sure why. In the trailer or whatever, they were like, oh, the fans are watching, the fans are getting excited or something.
Yeah.
So like I don't know exactly why they're focusing on that, if that's going to be a thing. But yeah, it was cool that they had this all like set up.
Yeah.
We played with all 6 of the Pokemon that we could, by the way. That was another thing. They were like, feel free to do whatever you want, obviously, in a demo.
Yeah, and we both switched out for everybody.
Yeah. And also, this demo at E3 was the reveal of Yamper and Impidimp.
Yep.
Which I keep forgetting that name, but...
Impidimp.
Impidimp.
And Yamper, as we said, was one of the ones we got to play with. Besides Grookey, my favorite to play with was Corviknight. I actually thought Corviknight was pretty awesome, but it may have just been the situation that I pulled him out in, but he was really cool.
Yeah.
And then in terms of who we were fighting, Dreadnought was a beast.
Yeah. He's a menace.
He is. He's a menace.
That's what I kept saying afterwards. I was like, oh, Dreadnought, he's a menace.
Yeah, and that's who gets Dynamaxed against us, too. That's who. So, yeah. Nessa. Yep. The water gym leader. That's Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now just covering the third and final big game, like big focus that Nintendo had at E3 2019. We have Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yep.
Which, in terms of the gameplay, I didn't like it better than Link's Awakening. But even with the dioramas considered, I liked the setup for Luigi's Mansion 3 best.
Yeah. It was super, super cool the way they had it set up. Obviously, you guys are going to be seeing the video of it, so I don't need to explain it too much, but it's so neat.
I mean, I feel like we might as well talk about it while they're seeing it. I mean, so you walk in, you're greeted with like these just kind of like creepy bats, And then as you come in, you just have like jack-o'-lanterns and skulls. You have the poison cauldron that you predicted in our Pokemon Gen 8 video. You knew there was going to be a poison cauldron at E3 2019.
I did. I somehow knew.
You thought it was going to be a Pokemon. Turned out it was going to be a Luigi's Mansion 3 poison cauldron.
But a decoration.
I'm giving you the credit.
Thank you.
But yeah, and I mean, like it was just so cool. The big old gargoyle. They had like ghosts. They
projections.
Like, projected on the walls. Oh man, it was so fun.
It was like a big old haunted house.
Yeah.
But then you get to demo a cool game inside of it.
Yep. Yep. And the gameplay was great.
Yeah.
Playing as Luigi was very fun. That mechanic is going to be so great in this game.
If you haven't heard, that all green one is Luigi.
Yes.
Luigi's what? Ectoplasm or something. The decor was just super detailed, super fun. It was reminiscent of Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, which we love. And I'm just like, dude, they just need to make a Nintendo Land already and put stuff like this around because it's just so fun.
I mean, they're working on it at Universal, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So,
I don't know if they'll have anything like this, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they had a Nintendo theme park that was just Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like as big as Disneyland or Universal.
Yeah. We spent so much time in here.
Yeah.
And I just feel like other people would enjoy getting to go there too. But
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame you had to wait in this like 2-hour line to be able to see the inside of this. So not very many people like experienced the inside of this.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know what it looked like until we went to demo the game. They had that like coin chandelier that you filmed.
Oh yeah.
They had the lightning. They had like the ghost manager of like the hotel.
Yeah.
They had like the mirror with like the ghosts on it. It was just so much cool stuff. And something else that we need to talk about is the giveaways.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, all 3 giveaways for these 3 games were so epic.
Yeah.
Like we got a flashlight, which we're going to do an E3 haul video, so you'll be able to check this stuff out a little later from us. But they basically, we got a Luigi's Mansion 3 flashlight, Pokemon Gen 8 starter pins, and a Link keychain in the art style of the remake of Link's Awakening.
Yep. Which has to be the winner.
I mean, probably. They're all very cool, but yeah, that's pretty epic. They're all so awesome, though. Nintendo really just blew us away at E3 2019. It was where we spent probably 60% of our time at E3 this year, was just at these areas of Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is I feel like it could be even more. I feel like 60 might be low.
Might be. But yeah.
I wanted to say too that it wasn't as big of like an experience, but they had that area over there by the treehouse that had other demoable games.
Yeah, like Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yes.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, and those were those 2 that you just mentioned were the ones that we did go in and demo, and it was really fun because we got to play together.
Yeah.
And obviously you love the Wolfenstein games.
Yeah.
And so that was cool to get to demo in Nintendo's area on Switch. So cool.
Yeah.
Then we demoed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is reminiscent of like the old GameCube X-Men games that I always loved to play with
like
my brother when I was a kid. It was so fun.
Yeah, X-Men Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that one too. Just wanted to mention it. Just a side note.
Yeah,
it wasn't a big old experience like the other big 3 main ones, but
it was cool.
It was cool.
And I mean, even like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, we got a keychain just for playing. Yeah. So I mean, there were little giveaways over there too.
Yeah. And they had other games over there too, so it was really cool that you could wait in a shorter line and demo more games if you didn't want to invest the 2 to 3 hours to get into Pokemon or Luigi's Mansion or Link's Awakening.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course they did have that like rock tower that you could climb.
Oh yeah, we didn't spend time there, but
we didn't spend time there, but it was cool.
Yeah,
like we wouldn't want to go to E3 and spend our time like sweating trying to climb a rock wall. But it was cool that if that's your thing, if you're like a climber and you're like, oh, look at this, like that could be a fun experience for you at your E3 experience. So that was cool too. And of course, the fact that the 2020 Olympic Games are going to be in Tokyo, that's a great opportunity for them to kind of do double marketing there for
Yeah.
video games and for the Olympics.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was our experience and our thoughts and feelings at Nintendo's booth at E3 2019. No surprise, we just loved it.
We loved it. That was my closing thoughts too. Is like, wow, I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. So we hope you all enjoyed just checking out the footage that we captured and hearing us reminisce about the good times that we had at Nintendo's E3 2019. And hopefully this showed you some things and helped to get you, educated maybe on some of these games coming out.
Or just hyped.
Or just hyped.
Like us.
Yeah.
We were planning on buying all these games anyway, but we are even more hyped now.
Thanks for watching. And we will be back. Sorry that it's taken us a while to get our first E3 video up, but we have some plans for some more E3 coverage, so stay tuned. And we are AJ and Katie with AJ and KT Gaming, and we will see you all soon.